Tom Mullen here with Communities at Washington Times. I'm joined today by Walter Block. He is an economics professor at Loyola University at New Orleans and also a scholar at the Mises Institute. Dr. Block, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me on your show.
Now, what was your talk today about? I unfortunately had to batten down my house because of this little storm we're having. What did you talk about today?
I talked about the libertarian theory of abortion.
And is there a nutshell version of that?
Yes, I think libertarians should be neither pro-choice nor pro-life, that we should adopt a third policy or a third stance, which is called evictionism, namely that the woman has a right to evict the fetus from her womb at any time, since she's the owner of it, and an unwanted fetus is a trespasser, but she has no right to kill it. And if we adopted this, right now, 1/3 of babies, all those in the third trimester, would be able to stay alive, whereas right now, many of them being killed. And another benefit of this is that as medical technology improves, we'll go back to the 6 month, and maybe in 200 years we'll go back right to the fertilized egg, and all babies will be saved. So I'm pro-life in, my heart is in the pro-life camp, but I think pro-life is wrong. And I think it's also inefficient because right now we're losing, and it's wrong because a woman who is raped, clearly that baby is a trespasser, and yet that baby has as many rights as any other baby. And I use the word baby advisedly. I believe that the human life starts with the fertilized egg. And if all babies have the same rights and the product of rape can be evicted, well, then so can any other baby because they're all equally innocent. We're not guilty for the sins of our parents.
So the logic really is that I can kick you out of my house for trespassing, but I can't take your life unless I'm aggressing against you in some other way.
Well, yeah, assuming there's no aggression, the baby doesn't aggress, but it doesn't have mens rea. The baby is not guilty. But the baby is still a trespass. It's very clear in the case of rape. You know, a woman walks down the street, she gets grabbed, she gets impregnated, and now there's something growing in her that she never agreed to. If that's not a trespass, I don't know what is. And if we libertarians believe in private property rights, well, the mother owns her womb, and she should be able to say what's in it and what's not in it. Now, she has no right to kill it, like in the case of partial birth abortion, where a woman with a baby in the 9th month, they kill the baby while it's inside of her, and then they pull it out dead. That's just plain old murder. And evictionism would solve that in one fell swoop right now.
Now, I assume this isn't part of your work at Loyola University, so how did you get involved with the Mises Institute, and what is the Mises Institute all about?
Well, Mises Institute is a think tank based on Austrian economics. This is vaguely related to it because it's a property rights issue, and property rights are part of economics, so it's an extension. But it's certainly not anything I do at Loyola University, which is a Jesuit university. But we have academic freedom. We can write about whatever we want, and we can talk about whatever we want. I don't talk about this in class, but that's the way I see the libertarian view. And one of my interests is applying libertarian theory to tough, ticklish, controversial issues, and if this one isn't, then nothing is.
Yeah, I know that you wrote a work on the slumlord not long ago, or maybe long ago. What was that all about?
Well, that was defending the undefendable. It came out in 1976, so it was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
Probably before you were born, although I'm not sure about that. It also applies libertarian theory to slumlords and blackmailers and other people who are, or other characters, economic characters, who are either prohibited by law or denigrated, and I'm saying that some of them are compatible with libertarianism, such as the slumlord or the blackmailer.
Now, connection to Ron Paul. Ron Paul is a follower of the Austrian School of Economics, correct?
Absolutely.
And that's the Mises Institute is the center for the Austrian school. Now, that's not a building in Austria. What is it, is for people who don't know?
Well, Austrian economics got nothing to do with the economics of the country Austria. It's called that because the creators of it, Menger, Bombewerk, Hayek, Mises, all came from Austria. It's similar to the Chicago School of Economics of Milton Friedman and Stigler. It's got nothing to do with the economics of Chicago. It's just that they were at the University of Chicago.
Okay. And what's the basics of the Austrian school?
Well, the basics of the Austrian school is that it's very radical. It doesn't it differs from the mainstream. The mainstream is an empirical, sees economics as an empirical science. We Austrians see it as a logical science, as a branch of logic. There are political implications. For example, the Fed. Most Austrian economists, I think all Austrian economists, think that the Fed is inefficient. They favor the gold standard. They're against fractional reserve banking, inflation. So it's the Chicago school has a reputation for being free market oriented, but they're not. The Austrians are.
Okay. And what do you think about the Ron Paul campaign at this point? Most mainstream media say that no chance to be nominated. I think he's really on the record for that. What do you think he can get done at this convention?
Well, promoting liberty. I think that's what Ron Paul is all about. If he becomes president, that's great. We'll have more liberty. And if he doesn't become president, that's also great because we'll have more liberty thanks to Ron Paul.
Dr. Block, thanks a lot for joining me, and good luck in your future endeavors.
Thanks for having me on your show.
Thanks.